I don't belong here anymore. Not in this world that worships money like it's a god, that dresses up consumption as the highest virtue and turns celebrities into idols to be adored, envied, and endlessly consumed. Every day I wake up and the same feeling hits me, a sinking, gnawing emptiness, that the world around me just keeps spinning, pretending that value is something you can buy or sell, that meaning is measured in likes and followers, that happiness is something you find in a brand new gadget or a pair of shoes or a lifestyle carefully curated on Instagram. I watch as people bow down to this hollow altar, sacrificing their time, their health, their humanity to chase after illusions. And I wonder how we got here. How did we end up in a culture where a person's worth is measured by their paycheck or their social media clout, where empathy is replaced by envy, where connection is replaced by comparison, where the things that should matter most, kindness, honesty, depth, are buried under piles of plastic and sponsored content? The worship of money is the religion of this age. It promises salvation through accumulation, but delivers only emptiness and exhaustion. We are taught from the moment we can understand that to have is to be, that your value lies in your bank, your possessions, your ability to consume. Advertisements bombard us relentlessly with the message that we are incomplete without the latest phone, the trendiest shoes, the perfect house. They tell us that happiness can be purchased, that success is a status symbol to be displayed like a trophy, and so we chase. We work jobs we hate for things we don't need, to impress people we don't care about. We live in a constant state of scarcity and desire, forever reaching for the next upgrade, the next thrill, the next moment of validation. But no matter how much we buy, how many things we collect, the emptiness remains. The void inside us grows louder and the cycle repeats. Consumer culture is a machine built to consume us from the inside out. It thrives on dissatisfaction, on making us feel never quite enough. It teaches us to define ourselves by what we own instead of who we are. It commodifies our identities, turning every choice, every preference, every moment of self-expression into a marketable product. We scroll through endless feeds filled with curated images of perfection, perfect bodies, perfect homes, perfect lives, carefully edited and filtered to hide the cracks, the pain, the failures. We compare ourselves to these impossible ideals and find ourselves wanting. We try harder to fit in, to be seen, to belong in a world that values surface over substance, and in the process, we lose ourselves. We forget how to be content with simply existing. We forget how to find joy without consumption. We forget that our worth isn't tied to our purchases or our online presence. Then there are the celebrities, the shiny distractions, the new gods of this era. We elevate them to a pedestal, watching their every move, analyzing their lives like scripture. We buy their products, mimic their styles, obsess over their scandals. The cult of celebrity fills the void left by lost community and meaning. We don't celebrate these people because of their art or their values, but because they embody the fantasy of success and escape. They live lives we can only dream of: wealth, fame, adoration. So we watch, entranced and envious, hoping some of their magic will rub off on us. But it's a lie. Behind the glitz and glamour are often the same insecurities, loneliness and emptiness that haunt the rest of us. We celebrate the spectacle and ignore the person. The celebrity becomes a mirror, reflecting our desires and our failures, but never the truth. This culture of worship is a slow poison. It numbs us to real suffering, real connection, real joy. We trade depth for distraction, substance for spectacle. The more we consume, the less we understand what truly matters. We fill our lives with noise, so we don't have to face the silence where the real questions live. Who am I beyond my possessions? What does it mean to live a meaningful life? Why do I keep chasing after things that never satisfy? These questions are uncomfortable, and the culture we live in does everything to drown them out. Instead, it offers quick fixes, shopping sprees, viral videos, reality TV, anything to keep us distracted and compliant. I feel trapped in this cycle, like a ghost wandering a world that no longer feels like home. I see people around me exhausted by the grind, weighed down by debt and anxiety, addicted to validation and approval. I see communities fractured by competition and comparison. I see kindness traded for clicks and empathy replaced by envy. The very things that should connect. The ability to love, to care, to create are commodified and sold back to us as products. And I wonder if there is any escape from this. If we can find a way back to something real, something lasting, something that doesn't come with a price tag. Maybe the worst part is how normal this all feels. How impossible it seems to imagine a different way of living when everything is designed to keep us hooked on consumption and spectacle. How we convince ourselves that this is just the way things are, that the worship of money and fame is inevitable. But it doesn't have to be. We can choose to stop worshipping these hollow idols. We can choose to reclaim our time, our attention, our humanity. It starts by looking honestly at what we've lost and what we've traded away. It starts by turning off the noise and finding moments of silence and reflection. It starts by remembering that our worth isn't measured in dollars or followers, but in the simple, unquantifiable acts of being human. I don't have the answers, and maybe there are none. Maybe this is the world we're stuck with, a world where meaning is sold in pieces and love is a commodity. But I refuse to fully give in. I refuse to let this worship of money and celebrity define me or the world I want to be part of. Even in the darkness, there are flickers of something else, small acts of kindness, honest conversations, moments of stillness. They remind me that beyond the glitter and the noise, there is still something real, something worth holding on to, something worth fighting for. The money obsession isn't just about dollars and cents. It's about power. It's about control. Those who hold the most money hold the most influence, shaping laws, media, culture. They decide what we see, what we buy, what we believe. And the rest of us, we are puppets dancing on strings we don't even know exist, desperate to be seen, desperate to be chosen, desperate to be valued. We give them our time and attention as if it were currency, and they take it without a second thought. The rich get richer, while the rest of us scramble for scraps, convinced that if we just work harder, buy smarter, post more perfectly, we'll catch up. But the game is rigged, and the winners keep moving the finish line farther away. Social media is the ultimate expression of this worship culture. It reduces our identities to numbers, likes, views, followers, and teaches us to perform endlessly for a faceless audience. We curate versions of ourselves that we think will attract approval, building personal brands instead of genuine relationships. We scroll through highlight reels of other people's lives, comparing ourselves to edited moments of joy and success, forgetting that everyone's reality is messy and flawed beneath the surface. This endless comparison breeds insecurity, anxiety, and loneliness. We seek validation in digital applause, but find only silence or judgment. It's a trap disguised as connection, and we fall into it every day. Celebrities exploit this hunger for belonging and admiration. They sell us fantasies of escape, success, and glamour, but they are often prisoners of the same system, shackled by contracts, public expectations, and constant scrutiny. The personas we see are carefully constructed, and the truth behind the scenes is often painful and isolating. Still, we consume every detail, every scandal, every triumph, as if their lives hold the answers to our own emptiness. The cult of celebrity is a distraction from the real work of facing our loneliness, our fears, our fractured society. Consumerism has become a form of therapy for a world that is starving for meaning. We buy to fill holes inside us that were never meant to be filled with things. The endless cycle of desire and acquisition becomes a kind of addiction, one that leaves us more empty and restless with each purchase. We chase the newest, the fastest, the flashiest, hoping to catch a glimpse of happiness. But happiness, if it ever comes, is fleeting. It evaporates as soon as the next craving arises. We become addicted to anticipation and novelty, not contentment or peace, and all the while, the planet suffers. The environmental cost of this consumer culture is staggering: deforestation, pollution, climate change, species extinction. The earth groans under the weight of our greed, and yet we keep buying, keep consuming, as if the resources are infinite. The future is sold as a product too, a shiny promise of better technology and innovation that will fix all our problems. But the truth is that our current path is unsustainable. We are burning through the world's resources like there is no tomorrow. While the idea of progress blinds us to the limits of the planet, I feel like a ghost watching this all unfold, detached and disillusioned, watching people sacrifice their well-being and relationships for the illusion of wealth and status, watching society fracture into tribes that compete for attention and power, watching kindness and empathy become secondary to competition and spectacle. It is a lonely place to be, to see the world for what it is, but not know how to change it, to want to unplug from the system, but be tethered by its demands. And yet, somewhere deep inside, there is a flicker of hope, not the naive hope of fairy tales or grand revolutions, but the quiet hope that comes from recognizing the truth and refusing to participate in the madness. The hope that maybe if enough of us stop worshipping money and celebrities, stop chasing empty dreams, we can reclaim something real, something that no algorithm or advertisement can sell. The hope that humanity can remember how to be human again. Don't know how long that hope will last, or if it is enough to pull us back from the edge, but I hold on to it anyway, because without hope, all that remains is despair, and despair is a weight too heavy to carry alone.